What is something someone said to you that hit you the hardest? If anyone in this thread needs to reach out to talk with someone, please see some of the resources below. There's /r/suicide watch, where well-meaning and sympathetic people will try and help, but be aware they aren't trained. The Befrienders, http:// is a global list of local suicide help charities. Use it to find an organization in your country. You should be able to call or email them for free and they'll speak to you and try and help you without being judgmental. 10th grade teacher pulled me to the side as I was enter the class and told me, walk with your head up. Don't think he knows how much that helped me. My dad was describing me to a therapist and said she is full of quit. How did you respond to that and what happened afterwards? If it's between saving $100 or going to that movie or concert or festival you've always wanted to go to, just go. A year from now you won't remember where that $100 went, but you'll sure as hell remember that memory you made with it. I don't know his exact name, but he's a comedian and his name is Josh. So there. To add another, did you have a bad day, or did you have a bad 5 minutes you held onto for the rest of the day? You just feel like a chore now. Not said directly to me, but I overheard some guys on my track team talking shiz about me. They didn't know I was standing there. They weren't even friends of mine, but I was doing very well on the team that year and earned a spot on the varsity team, which is something that had never happened to me before. These guys were saying I didn't deserve to be there, and that really screwed me up, as I'm a pretty shy, quiet guy and usually don't elicit that kind of reaction out of people. My mom once told me when I was a teenager that it took a lot of courage to take your own life, and you could do a lot with that courage instead of killing yourself. Your mom sounds like a wonderful person. We broke up because of you. They broke up because of their incompetence and inability to raise a child, like literally every single fudging person who has preceded them. You're right. However, the original statement is ambiguous. It could be something that an ex-lover says to another about their breakup. But it also could be the context you've replied to. Source: my ex, immaturely, thinks I'm in the former category. It doesn't matter if you hit a home run or strike out, he'll always be your number one fan. My grandpa when I was going through a very rough time. Why is this making me tear up and none of the others? Because grandpas are the best. My mom telling me that my dad is an awful man who abandoned us. She did the same thing years later. My mother once told me, I think you've been miserable your entire life, in regards to my depression. It may sound like a horrible thing to hear, but she was not trying to upset me. She was basically saying, you've done everything you can by yourself to try to get out of this depression, but I think it's always been there, so you need help. Man, I wish I had your mom. Mine looked at me and my depression and said I made the biggest mistake of my life by not having an abortion when I was pregnant with you. I was 12. I'm now 35, and just the thought of it still makes me cry. I'm so proud of you. Said to me by my swim coach after I came in last, 5 minutes after everybody else. I realized then that nobody had ever been proud of me before for something I didn't succeed in. Everybody shows pride when you succeed. When you give your best and come up short anyway, having someone still be proud of your effort means the absolute world. I think a lot of people's lives would be different if they had this kind of support. I'm glad your coach gave it to you. You deserved it. You can be the sweetest peach on the peach tree, but not everyone likes peaches. When my brother was little he used to say, if you don't like my peaches, don't pick my tree. Very wise brother. And that brother? Albert Einstein. My team sergeant was killed in front of me by an IED on my last deployment. He was a mentor of mine and we were particularly close. After we put him on the helicopter, the team commander pulled me aside and told me that this isn't the last time this is going to happen. For what it's worth, He thought you were a good NCO. It was hard enough seeing him go, but somehow him thinking that I was good, that he thought I would be alright, made it hurt more. I still miss him. Edit, fixed a typo. They're only a thought away is what my therapist told me once. It's not the same as being with the person physically, but it has helped me feel close to my loved ones who are gone when I need them. I hope you get some solace from this, too. I am sorry for your loss. My father prayed I would have a terrible child, and I think it's you. I was 11 years old. My mother did that to me. She goes, my mother cursed me with a child like me, now I hope you have a child who's just like you. Now, I'd be like bitch, me too, but at the time when I was maybe 14 or 15 and it was spat at me the way it was, it really stung. My mom said the exact same thing. But now I'm gay and don't want kids, so I guess she's stuck with the curse. I wish you could just stop caring what he says. My dad, after I got the umpteenth emotionally manipulative text from my abusive ex-husband, this was over 2 years after our divorce was finalized. My dad doesn't say much on an emotional level. So when he does say something, I know it has deep meaning. I went no contact with my ex, and remain so to this day. And I'm a much happier and more serene person for it. I love this. My dad is the same, doesn't show emotion much, but when he does I know it's something really sincere. Glad you're happier now, smiley face. After the birth of my first child at age 17, my aunt told me, this is your responsibility. This child didn't ask to be here. Didn't ask for you as a mother, didn't ask for him as a father. It's going to be hard, but it's not his fault he is here. Really made me step up and try my hardest to be a good mother. I hear her voice every time I see a news story about child abuse or neglect. From the words of Earl Sweatshirt's late father, to have a home is not a favor. Interesting hypocrisy from him though. A co-worker once told me all stress is relative. You have no right to undermine what someone else is going through, no matter how small compared to your stress. I think about it a lot. He was so right. I was young and being in a hole. Something to always keep in mind is that two wildly different causes of stress can produce the same outcome, and just because it was caused by a smaller issue doesn't mean the stress/anxiety/depression is lesser than another's. Yesterday is heavy. Put it down. Ugh. I like this. It hit me like a freaking cement truck. So simple. So true. So directly relevant. You have an energy I've always found challenging, by way of saying I don't want to talk to you anymore, felt like out of the blue. Was meant to be kind, I think. Fucking ouch. Maybe take it as a compliment. Challenging doesn't have to be negative, so own that shiz. People better watch the fudge out, cause there's some challenging energy coming through, and it ain't gonna settle. I don't think it was a compliment. Some people are a bundle of nervous energy and they wear people out. I love you. My grandma always believed in showing love, not saying it. She believed actions spoke louder than words. 4 days before she passed away, she told me she loved me. I was shocked at this, but I told her I loved her too. It was so unlike her. I now realize that maybe she said it because, with how weak she was due to the sickness, she felt like she couldn't show it. I don't know. Maybe I'll never know. But that was when I knew that she didn't have much time left. Beautiful. Thank you. She really meant a lot to me.